The mother of a Santa Fe shooting victim confronts him about gun control. Plus, Harris County reports the first death from West Nile virus this year, and we talk to a survivor about how devastating the virus can be. Also, reliving the Rockets' glorious championship years tonight. We're there as their replica trophies are unveiled. Good evening. Mia's off tonight. It's an allegation that reminds us of America's legacy of segregation. A workplace break room supposedly for whites only. That's what a former Southwest Airlines worker says existed at Hobby Airport. And he says racism cost him his job. Lauren Tallarico is live at Hobby tonight with the man's lawsuit and the airline's response. Lauren?
Well, then Jamal Parker says he worked for Southwest Airlines for 4 years and that the culture of racism was present the whole time, although the airline disagrees. Southwest Airlines is facing some serious accusations from former ramp agent Jamal Parker.
You would think in 2018 it doesn't happen, but it does.
Parker says he was told about a racist culture by a black supervisor back in 2013, including a whites-only break room.
He said it's just best to avoid that. Just don't go in there, and that's exactly what I did.
According to Parker, the room didn't have a door or sign, but says that segregation was understood and he didn't challenge it.
I didn't want any trouble. I didn't want a target on my back. I have a very good paying job. You know, I have really good benefits. I'm not here to make any waves. So I really just kind of blocked that out. I'm just here to work.
But that mentality changed last April when he was fired for running over and damaging a cable, then not reporting it. The lawsuit claims 2 white employees had only been written up for similar incidents. He also showed us this picture.
There is no reason for us to use this knot whatsoever.
He says it was posted to a work Facebook page after he'd been fired, appearing to show a noose hanging outside a Southwest gate.
Someone took that cord and created a noose and just left it hung there for people to see. It was out in the open.
In a statement, the airline said, "We work relentlessly to foster an environment that is diverse and inclusive. We do not tolerate or condone discrimination of any kind, and we cultivate a workplace that mirrors the customers we serve." Parker disagrees, but even after his allegations, says he wants his job back. Well, Parker says he's also suing for lost wages and other damages, and he has requested a jury trial. You can read the airline's full response on our website, KHOU.com. Len.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. There's been a deadly crash involving an 18-wheeler in Montgomery County tonight. This is the scene from Air 11 along US 90 at Spencer Road down in Beasley. Deputies say a van swerved, slamming into the big rig head-on, causing it to catch fire. The truck driver survived, but 2 people in the van were killed. New tonight, things got a little intense at a rally for Senator Ted Cruz down in Webster when the mother of a Santa Fe shooting victim confronted Cruz about what he's done about gun control. Take a listen.
And you still have not introduced common sense reform.
Okay, so ma'am, look, you can ask your question. I'm gonna treat your question with respect, but we're not allowed to shout each other down. And I will point out that I've called you and my office has called you at least 4 times. I am more than happy to meet with you at any time.
That was Rhonda Hart's daughter, Kimberly Vaughn. She was one of 10 people killed back in May. Cruz told her he has filed legislation that would strengthen background checks and put more armed security officers in schools. Gun control will likely be one of the topics at tomorrow night's first debate between Cruz and his Democratic challenger, Beto O'Rourke. They'll face off at the SMU campus in Dallas at 6 p.m., and you can watch it live on KHOU.com. The second debate will be September 30th at the University of Houston. Now to an exclusive interview with the attorney representing the parents of the accused Santa Fe gunman. The parents of Demetrius Pagorchis are facing 2 wrongful death lawsuits. Those suits accuse the couple of knowing their son had mental issues and that they should have done more to safeguard their guns at home. Their attorney says his clients were just as shocked as everyone else.
This case is different from a lot of other mass shootings that have come before, where The teen was obviously troubled, had a pattern or history of psychological problems, and the guns were just readily available. Whatever problems he was dealing with, he hid it from everybody.
The victims' families are seeking $1 million in damages. The West Nile virus has claimed its first victim here in Harris County this year. The man who died also had underlying health problems. But tonight we're talking to a survivor of West Nile who says he was perfectly healthy when he got sick, and it has changed his life forever. Larry Sievert, live in the Med Center with his story tonight. Larry?
Lynn, that survivor gets treatment from Tier Memorial Hermann. He was healthy, active, cutting down trees in his backyard. One moment, the next, cut down by one mosquito bite. Mike Sachowski could not move a muscle, and he couldn't see or breathe for weeks. Then when he woke, gasping for air on that hospital bed in the Woodlands.
Can you open your eyes, Mike?
The 68-year-old heard one eye-opening diagnosis.
Well, I was surprised that one mosquito could do so much damage. There's no awareness of it.
Last month in his yard, Sachowski caught West Nile virus. At first, it felt like food poisoning, and that's what a doctor called it, until this otherwise healthy married father of two landed in the ER.
I've been researching West Nile here in Houston for the last 16 years. This is by far one of the worst seasons we've seen in a long time.
Health officials just announced Harris County's first confirmed West Nile virus death. It is the second in Texas this year, and researchers say 80% of West Nile cases happen between August and September.
And a lot of people think, maybe I'm not high risk for severe disease, but you can have even young people who end up getting really, really sick, and it can change the course of the rest of their lives.
Sachowski came home feeling lucky. Even though he needs a walker, his hands remain too shaky to use a cell phone, and doctors are not sure when or if full recovery is possible with the virus still in Sachowski's body. But he's alive, hoping his story moves others.
Try to protect yourself the best you can when you go outside.
To beware of mosquitoes. Health officials encourage people to use mosquito spray, to wear long pants and long shirts when possible during these summer months, and to keep those rain gutters clear. We have a full list of tips from public health officials on KHOU.com. We are live in the Texas Medical Center. Larry Sievert, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Larry, thank you. Well, let's talk weather, and conditions are ripe for mosquitoes. Some of you getting a dose of rain today. We saw some rough weather. Check out this damage in Conroe this afternoon. Strong thunderstorms caused a steel canopy at a car wash to collapse. Several cars damaged. Nobody got hurt. And let's take a live look at downtown Houston. A straight-up sauna outside. Hot, very humid, and the weekend not looking much better. David?
You walk outside and you can feel the air. It is thick. It is air you can wear. It's that tropical humidity. Texas is wet tonight. Heaviest rain in a line out there in West Texas. Those storms are lined up in a line because they're lined up just ahead of a weak cold front. That's one of three ingredients that will make it very wet for the next several days. The front, Pacific moisture, remnants of an old tropical depression, and then remnants of what at one time was Tropical Storm Isaac. Just the moisture's coming in, but all that moisture, a weak front to act as a focusing mechanism, and it's going to wring out a lot of rain next several days. For tomorrow, storms develop between 9 and 11 o'clock in the morning. They will last through 6 o'clock in the evening before they fizzle on out. They'll be heavy enough to produce some street flooding. We had some of that near Bush Intercontinental Airport this afternoon. Could see it in some spots tomorrow. Coming up, we'll talk about this approaching cool front. We'll check temperatures up in Kugluktuk, and the tropics are still busy. I've got a tropical update coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. Authorities in Taiwan now joining the search for an Austin man who sells blueprints to make 3D printed guns. Cody Wilson is charged with having sex with a 16-year-old girl in Austin that he met online and paid her $500. Immigration officials confirm he is in Taiwan. Investigators believe he flew there after finding out that girl went to police. There was another work-related shooting today, this time in Maryland. It happened at a Rite Aid distribution center about 35 miles northeast of Baltimore. It's all part of your nightcap in 90 seconds.
Police say that a 26-year-old woman armed with a handgun opened fire on co-workers. 3 were killed, 3 others hurt. Police say the woman then shot herself and she later died.
Right now, a manhunt for the crooks behind a violent home invasion. They forced their way into a home and tied up the entire family. This is a lot of people in the Northwest Harris County neighborhood near Tiburon Park on edge.
Deputies say the husband was forced to give the men cash before they tied him up. Then they took off. Somehow, the wife managed to break free and called 911.
President Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, in town today. She toured Johnson Space Center. While she was there, she got to speak with crew members on the International Space Station.
Obviously, one of the reasons we're here is to see the unbelievable work that's being done by NASA, by the whole organization, and in advancement of our goals towards space exploration and ultimately the President's goals of returning humans to the moon.
Being able to take the Metro rail all the way to Hobby Airport. It is one of the ideas Metro is considering.
We are still a long way away from this idea becoming a reality, but we're a big step closer because Metro has now put the idea in writing. It's an early stage proposal that comes with a big price tag. Ideally, the Metro rail would go to both airports if money was no object. But it is, so Metro is starting with Hobby.